I nearly lost my voice over the weekend, and it was worth it. It was awesome. The LED light feature inside Bryant-Denny Stadium, where the place just went bright red. Boy, did Craig Byrne did an unbelievable job with that. Whomever was DJing the light feature, they got to put Shawty on payroll, because that was A1. And then, Paul Bear Bryant is somewhere in heaven going, God, look at the Bama Nation down there. They are doing it right. Crimson Tide, smoke them up. 35-13 win over the Volunteers on last week. And Jeremy Pruitt, his guys play tough. They play physical. Gave Alabama a football game, but at the end of the day, Nick Saban, 13 in a row. Alabama, 13 in a row over Tennessee. And with that being said, you have returned from the break on the hottest show on the streets, best form of Alabama football news, notes, and information you are going to find. This is, in my own words, the podcast with yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. And people, as I do each and every week, if you are feeling this show, you enjoy this show, you appreciate the content and the way it's being brought to you, do not forget to like the show on YouTube. Like the show, like the podcast, give us a thumbs up. That lets us know that we got to continue supplying you with the best in news, notes, information, updates, and analysis. The show, as always, sponsored, powered by our good friends at WhitwillSports.com. Title Towel. This is the rally towel with benefits for the avid Alabama sports fan. It's only $9.99, very accessible, but it lasts a lifetime. So as always, while you're puffing that cigar, put that towel in the air, wave it, twirl it like you just don't care. Let Nick Saban know you're proud of him. Let this program know that you're proud of these young men. And you do that by getting a title towel from WhitwillSports.com. Pick up a couple of those today. The things that stood out to me against Tennessee for Alabama. Number one, people, did I not tell you? Did I not say it? Ty Perine. Sometimes you got to put your best on the field. Even if your best is a walk-on, you got to see what the young men, what the guys made of. And down the stretch of this season, Alabama is going to go up against competition that will have its best. It's grade A. It's A1. And I ain't talking steak sauce, but it's A1 on the field. Whether it's at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, offensive line, defensive players, and you better believe it, special teams also. And Nick Saban got the gist of it finally over the weekend. Skylar DeLong been struggling for quite a while now. Will Reichert, prayers to that young man. Hopefully the training staff, the medical staff can help get his hip in the right, proper, form, because that man, as a true freshman, can really kick on field goals. So hopefully they're able to work out that hip flexor and we can see Will Reichert back kicking the way he's been doing for a good bit of the season. But Ty Perine in this matchup, punting the football, I saw shades of J.K. Scott over the weekend. I mean, moon balls. 43-yard punt on one of them, 51-yard boot on the other, averaged 46.5 yards a punt. And on the 51-yard punt, the man turned into an athlete, flying down the field as if he was Mark Barron, and just initiated contact, leaned his shoulder in on the hit, and brought the guy down. And once again, I have crafted sources within this program. I know quite a few people within this program, and I trust these people. I trust what they tell me. I trust the information that they confide in me. Very seldom are they inaccurate in the information. These are the same people that told me, Stephen, Jalen Hurts will be the quarterback at Alabama. These are the same people that told me, Stephen, Kendall Sheffield is about to leave Alabama, the defensive back. The same folks that told me, Steven, Mike Bernier will be the starting punter against 2018 against Tennessee. These same people fed me the exact information on Ty Perine, and it came up money. This young man can play. Absolute athlete, fan base, very excited, very proud of what they were able to get from that young man over the weekend, having fun, being excited, punting the football. Hopefully, we see a scholarship and more action from Perine in the future, but that was the number one thing for me. The number two thing that stood out to me in the matchup for Crimson Tide over the Volunteers, the defense is starting to show a little bit more. Terrell Lewis was the star of the whole thing, and I'll break him down in a minute. But the defense as a whole is starting to show a little bit more. It's starting to flash a little bit more. It's starting to show that, hey, we can get some things done. And if you looked at it, Raekwon Davis, I saw some meanness from him over the weekend. His name was called a bunch of times. About time. You look at Shane Lee and Christian Harris, these guys are going to be some dudes. And Nick Saban talked about how when you lose your two guys in Dylan Moses and Joshua McMillan that knew the system, that understand the system, but most importantly, that have had playing experience. And it's just different from a coach talking to you than one of your peers talking to you. When a coach is talking to you and trying to get you to understand how to play to a certain style, you hear that coach, you give a listening ear to that coach, but it just hits different when one of your own brothers pulls up on you and tries to teach you the game. It hits different. It comes off different. You understand it better. You understand it more because here's a guy that's sweating like I'm sweating. Here's a guy that's giving his all the way I'm giving my all. Here's a guy that's in the trenches just like I am. And Christian Harris and Shane Lee, unfortunately, didn't have that this season just due to the two guys that would have been in the trenches showing them, Dylan Moses, Joshua McMillan, out for the year with injuries. So you got two young bucks that are forced to kind of play like experienced guys. They weren't quite ready for that yet, but they've taken on a challenge, and week by week, game by game, shout out to Pete Golding, he's helping them get better within the challenge. I mean, I saw some things from Christian Harris over the weekend. He's growing. He's flashing. Shane Lee had a big sack in the ball game. Growing. Flashing. I looked at Jarrett Maiden. He's quietly becoming a solid draft pick. His second interception of the year. We know what Alabama's going to get from Xavier McKinney. Then you look at Christian Barmore. If Alabama continues to work him in this dime rabbits package, that dude is going to be a stud. He looks like Quinnen Williams at 6'5", 310 pounds, but the boy from Philly plays like a Sean Robinson. Angry young man. Alabama continues to work with him. He's going to be special. If you look at Patrick Surtain II, saw some good things from him. And Trayvon Diggs, you talk about holler at a player when you see him in the street. Touchdown. The dude on the goal line, when Jared Guarantano was trying for the quarterback sneak, I couldn't locate the ball for about 5 minutes. All of a sudden, here comes number 7 streaking the opposite direction, 100 yards to the house for a touchdown, and the place just went nuts. Bonkers. I'm talking House of Pain jumping around. That's what that was. And fantastic. Anthony Jennings also played well coming off the edge. So everybody on defense is starting to flash, starting to show a whole lot more. Terrell Lewis, the star of the whole performance, he is playing like a first-round pick now. And I had my worries, my concerns about T. Lou. I was wondering Was the injury still lingering in the back of his mind? Alabama kind of had him on his pitch count, didn't play against Southern Miss, didn't play much against South Carolina, so I had my concerns. But the last 2 weeks, those concerns have been put to rest because against Texas A&M and Tennessee, Terrell Lewis has put it behind him. He's on the field with his wife, Miss Football, Miss Gridiron, and they did some work against the Volunteers. T. Lou, 7 tackles, 5 of those solo stops, 3 tackles for loss, and had 2 of Alabama's 3 sacks in the ball game against Tennessee. Now, I get it. A lot of fans are thinking right now, well, Tennessee moved the ball on Alabama. They ran the ball. They threw the ball. They kept the game close. I'm going to read you these numbers right here. Tennessee put up just 13 points. Tennessee totaled 231 yards total offense here. Now, of course, they had 114 yards rushing, but it took them 37 carries. It needed 37 carries to just get over the 100-yard mark, 114 yards, which was an average of 3.1 yards a carry. The Volunteers needed 2 quarterbacks. They needed Jared Garantano and Brian Maurer to total 117 passing yards. So I don't get where they threw the ball on Bama. I don't get where that mess came from because it took 2 quarterbacks to total 117 yards. Then, one of the more physical receivers, Marquez Callaway, was held for just one catch, while Juwan Jennings had 6 catches, but only had 66 yards. So for the most part, the Alabama defense played well, continues to showcase improvement, and will only get better as the weeks move on. But really impressed with T. Lou, really impressed with the Tide defense and what it showed. And the reason why Tennessee stayed in the football game, penalties and the interception by Tua Tagovailoa. Alabama, 8 penalties for 93 yards. A couple of those were uncalled for, by the way. And Tua Tagovailoa got to throw the ball away. In the red zone, forced to play in the end zone. Nigel Warrior got the pick, ran it back 50 yards, gave Tennessee a whole bunch of momentum. Tua throws the ball away, or Alabama uses a running play in that goal line situation. Alabama puts up a touchdown there. It's 14-0, and the game's essentially over. Penalties and an interception kept the Vols in the football game. I felt like defensively, led by Terrell Lewis, Alabama starting to show, hey, you may doubt us, but our best game, we're about to pull it out really, really, really soon. What's up, college football fans? You can catch the hottest show on the streets, that being In My Own Words, the podcast, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Subscribe to Touchdown Alabama magazine for the best in Tide football.